Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. And this week, joining us from beautiful and at the moment very warm Sydney in Australia is Carmela Then. Hey, Carmela, welcome to the show.
Hello, Vasco. Thank you for having me here.
So let me introduce Carmela to all of you. She's a senior business analyst with over 15 years in financial and mining sectors. She's also a certified and advanced Scrum Master and excels at leading Agile initiatives, delivering business value, and aligning technical outcomes with strategic goals. She supports energy data projects, for example, and has worked with many teams in many different roles, which is something that we will explore this week with Carmela. So, Carmela, that was a short intro. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did you end up becoming a Scrum Master?
That's a great question. I actually ended up being a Scrum Master by chance. So I'm a type of person that loves to learn things, and because as you say, I have a really strong business analyst background, and after a while, I just find it boring. And at that time, I was already working in like Agile type of environment, and I love it. And I really totally looked up to my Agile coaches. So I asked them, what do I need to do to become an Agile coach? They say, well, step one, you have to be a Scrum Master. So when I heard them say that, and I was like, okay, then I will be a Scrum Master then. So that's how I ended up with it. I just go around and tell people that I would like to become a Scrum Master because it is a stepping stone for me to become an Agile coach. So, and that's how I ended up as a Scrum Master.
Beautiful. Many of us have quite diverse stories of how we end up being a Scrum Master, but there's something that unites us all, and wanting to learn and wanting to help teams succeed is something that we all appreciate and have experienced, I'm sure, just like you did. But even though we try our best, sometimes just wanting to be a good Scrum Master is not enough. All of us have failure stories, and today's Fail Monday here on the podcast, so we want to explore one of those stories. Carmela, tell us the story, walk us through the steps, what was happening, what conversations were going on, and then we'll dive into the details and the takeaways. But first, tell us that story.
As in how did I fail, and my very first failure story as a Scrum Master. So true. And failure is what is the thing that makes us who we are, right? And for me, I actually grew up in Malaysia. So in my background, it is if you are not the top 10%, or if you're not in the top 5%, you're a failure. So I grew up with that kind of mindset. So I actually took that to work as well. And how Scrum, all of this is actually failing forward. Like you learn from the mistakes and then you become better. But at the first few months or first few years, it was actually very tough for me because I didn't know how to fail. And now that I'm actually embracing failure because of this great leadership guru, John C. Maxwell, I don't know whether you know him or not. And he's an advocate in terms of failing. So he actually have a book. He actually has a book called Failing Forward. So how to turn a failure into a positive experience. So anyway, in terms of the story about failing, so my first strong Scrum Master gig, and because it was my first time being a Scrum Master, I was excited. I thought I had done a few rounds of Scrums. I know how Scrum works. I've been to a few training, and I know how to write a story card on an index card. Then I think, great, I am armed with this knowledge. I can be a Scrum Master, right? But then little did I know it is completely different. It is very different in terms of me writing a card into leading a team who actually has very little Scrum experience to succeed. But then I had to put up that face, like showing people that I was so great. I can build this beautiful Scrum board. That time, back in the bank, we had a physical Scrum board. So you build it out on the wood board. I make sure all the lines were straight, and pretend that I was a strong Scrum Master. But the thing is, my failure was I didn't really recognize like the need of my team. They actually didn't need the beautiful Scrum board. They actually needed someone who is very humble and could tell them that, oh, I am new here, like I am learning as I am going, and let's do it together. So, and I tried so hard in like putting on this facade, saying that I was great, I can make it through. It was all very ego centric, and there was a couple of teams, and there were the two POs actually fighting against each other. So
God, that is
yes,
not a good
it
start.
was very, no, it was a very political environment. So instead of being the mature person saying that, hey, we are in this together, like we are in this team, even though we are two different Scrum, but we actually have a goal that, we should work towards like together. So I didn't do that. So in the end, I was thinking that I should help my PO in terms of establishing her ground. So in the end, that environment become very toxic. One of the POs won the fight. Of course, he got promoted, she got demoted, and a number of great people left the job, the employment. So yeah, and that's a very
So one of the things that you tell in your story is this. I guess we could call it the difference between being good at the tasks of being a Scrum Master and being good at the purpose of being a Scrum Master, right? Like you were talking about having the beautiful board, maybe having all the meetings in the calendar on time, like all of that stuff, which is also important. Let's not underplay that, because those are incredibly important infrastructure components for great, successful teams. But at that time, you were in the middle of a political fight between two product owners. The team probably needed more support, more a friendly ally in the middle of the chaos that was that situation. Is that what you look at as the failure? Because I mean, setting up a great Scrum board and making sure it's up to date and all of that, that's not a failure, right? Like that is not enough to succeed, but that in itself is not a failure.
Yeah, that itself, setting up the Scrum board is great. It's not a failure, but the failure is not recognizing the situation, because Scrum is great doing Scrum, but Scrum Master has a really a strong leadership role requirement to become a leader among the team as well. They are like half of agile coach. So the failure part is instead of like leading the team to work toward a common vision and a goal, and I was probably one of the person that helps the divide of the bigger team. So because of the division between the team rather than help them unite, that has caused a lot of chaos and a lot of heartbreak and losing the prize, let's put it that way, and caught the turmoil.
If you could go back, like, well, what would you do differently? What are maybe 1, 2, or 3 tips you could share with the listeners out there that are perhaps in the same situation you were at the time?
What I would do differently is to look at what these two teams have in common, what they are actually trying to achieve, and put the human part back into the center. So that human could be customer, for example, or it could be the organization that we were working for at that time. So for example, what's the need of the customer that we are serving? So instead of the two teams are pitching against each other, like rather than that, turn the conversation into, how can we do this together to achieve that goal and to focus on the outcome rather than focus on ourselves. Because I felt like that was too much of putting eyes on ourselves rather than putting eyes on the others, which is, what Scrum's, I feel like that's Agile. The true meaning of Agile, actually focus on customer, focus on the goal, what matters rather than personal gain.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great reminder. Thank you for sharing that with us, Carmela.
Okay, that's very welcome.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.